It's Friday, the 18th of May, 2012. I'm Alex Jones, and this is another edition of INFOWARS Nightly News.
Tonight.
They rape your privacy on the phone. They rape your privacy on the email. They rape your daughter in the airport. They rape your son in schools. How long are you going to sit and put up with being raped?
Alex Jones speaks with FBI translator and 9/11 whistleblower Sibel Edmonds. Then, the war against our children. Another child is ripped from its parents and fed psychotropic drugs by Child Protective Services. Plus, Chicago prepares for the invasion of NATO as 40 federal agents man secret command centers outside the city. All that and more on the INFOWARS Nightly News.
Coming up first, we're going to look at Obama and the absolute proof on top of proof that he was not born in this country and is being blackmailed. And then some very painful information we have to cover, but please bear with us for this. Warning, though, you probably don't want your children watching this. Well, maybe you do, so they understand that how criminal the state is and how they're preying on them. So I guess children do have to see this, even though it's dangerous and scary and frightening, so that they understand that they cannot trust the system, they cannot trust their teachers, they cannot trust their doctors, they can trust no one but their parents, because we are living in a total New World Order, Soviet/fascist nightmare where they've combined every system of authoritarianism. Giant kidnapping rings, murdering children en masse coming up. I'm not kidding. You're going to see total proof of this. Shakes me to my very core. I spent most of the radio show today on this. That's coming up. First off, let's look at Barack Obama. I wasn't a birther 4.5 years ago. I was like, really? Born in Kenya? I mean, why would they do that? Then I learned that Hillary had used it against him. She'd brought it forward because she had all the FBI dossiers. The Clintons still run Washington, basically. So they're in their third term through blackmailed Obama. And I learned all the background. His wife, Michelle, in speeches saying he was born in Kenya. They visited his homeland. We've played those clips before. Just type in Michelle, says that Obama visited his homeland, Kenya. You'll get the video clips. It's all over the place. His fake first birth certificate, the second fake one was ridiculously fake. A 5-year-old made it. I mean, it's unbelievable, with a fake typewriter font where all the typewriter fonts are the same when each one is different. The fact that he was Barry Soetoro, and they denied that in Indonesia, and then later they went, oh yeah, he was Barry Soetoro, and got Indonesian citizenship. You can only give up your U.S. citizenship and get that at the time. It's all on record. All the weirdness, the CIA family, all of it. Why would they want someone who wasn't a U.S. born to blackmail him and to get everybody involved in a lie so big that no one would want to challenge it? Because all the laws he signed on to in the last 3.5 years, they're null and void. That's the big enchilada right there. That's the big kahuna. Paul Watson has a big article breaking all of this down at INFOWARS.com, but Breitbart broke it yesterday. It turns out his literary agent, his publicist that he still uses from 91 to 2007, that's 16.5 years, said that he was born in Kenya and then lived in Indonesia and Hawaii. Well, that's what our research shows. And you got researchers going over there and trying to see his birth certificate and being detained and arrested like Dr. Corsi. You've got things going on there as well. I mean, I'm just giving you some background right now. Bush, we later learned, this is official State Department. It's public info. It's in our article. Evidence Obama born in Kenya goes beyond 1991 brochure. And you learned that Obama, the Bush administration sent their ambassador to find out to the Kenyans. They said, was he born here? Because Hillary's saying this. And they said, yeah, we've gone to the birth files. It's been cut out. It appears to be a criminal action. So you don't cut out records that weren't there. You understand that? Oh, well, he's not there. Well, don't cut it out. They cut it out. And so it just piles up. And then, boom, for 16 plus years, they put out different publications, including promotion of his book, Dreams of My Father, saying born in Kenya, first president of the Law Review who was black at Harvard. I mean, this is wild. Born in Kenya and raised in Indonesia. And there's the Breitbart watermark on there. And the media came out and said, you know what, it's a typo. You're right, for 16 plus years we said this. I mean, folks, this is in publications every month promoting him. This is in big magazines. This is everywhere and never corrected it. I mean, give me a break. If the media said in the New York Times or Washington Post that I was born in Russia or born in China or born in Timbuktu, I would go on air and say, correct that. Man, we are in deep trouble. I mean, I already knew he wasn't born here, and we don't know who he really is. He's got all these other fake names, and all his records are sealed. But to really come to grips with, wow, we're right again. You know, I want to be wrong. You understand? I don't want it to be so bad. I don't want this to be true. We're the only teleprompter-free news in the country. You think I'm happy about that? Oh, we're the only teleprompter-free. Wow, that makes us different. Wow, we'll be successful. It means nothing I have 15 viewers and listeners a week, 3 million a day. Because it's conservative. It's over 1.5 million now on the websites every day. You think I'm glad about that? Well, I'm glad I can reach people, but it's not about Alex Jones, folks. It's about you taking action and you doing little things every day that'll bring these people down. People are like, well, big deal if he's born in Kenya. What's the big deal? Folks, he's totally compromised. The Clintons wanted to beat him. Then they found out about this and blackmailed him at Bilderberg. I was there covering it. About to go again in a couple weeks, a week and a half. I can't believe this is already upon us. You think I'm happy to go to Bilderberg? I got to do it. It's a responsibility. You think it's fun? I don't want to scare you, folks, the stuff I went through last time. This is real is what I'm saying. That just blows me away. Within hours of this, the text editor of the big PR firm that he still is listed with came out and said, oh, I'm sorry, it's a mistake. That's where this whole rumor came from. Really, no one knew about this the last 4.5 years. It was all the other fake documents. So don't say the birther rumor came from your original information that was wrong. You understand how they spin things? I mean, what a transparent spin right there. The vetting, exclusive, Obama literary agent, 91 booklet, born in Kenya and raised in Indonesia and Hawaii. It doesn't get any more bombshell than that. Now, let's shift gears to what was my top story for over 2.5 hours, or right at 2.5 hours, of the daily radio show. Get teleprompter free, folks. I'm going to stumble sometimes. Actually using the old noggin, not stuff the CIA writes and I read off a teleprompter. Think about this. We supposedly live in the freest country in the world, and we have 7+ million people in the prison system, double what China has with 1.3 million people. They have 1.3 billion people. We have 310 million people in our country, the most wealthy, powerful country in the world, because we had basic liberty. It created incredible wealth. Now we've been taken over by the globalist parasites, and China, who has 1.3 billion people, has half the prisoners the United States has with 310 million. They've got like 9 times our population, roughly, and they have half the prisoners we have. This is not freedom. The CIA admitting they're spying on us without warrants and operating domestically illegally. That's not freedom. Street lights going up nationwide with your taxpayer money to listen to you and watch you, and the system saying, yeah, we're watching you and listening to you, better shut up. Banning free speech and protests in Chicago because the globalists are coming to town. That's not freedom. TSA sticking their hands down your pants. IRS taking houses without warrants or due process or real courts or proof for the Federal Reserve. Fraud. Banks taking people's houses when they fully own them without deeds. Total fraud. We're not in Kansas anymore. We're not in the Republic anymore. People go, well, don't bash America. I'm not. I want to get our Republic back. And to do that, we've got to admit just how serious things have gotten, just how hardcore things are. Now, I was supposed to be in a debate this morning with Tucker Carlson on the radio at 7 a.m. on a syndicated radio show, Bubba the Love Sponge. And I was watching videos on INFOWARS and got so upset when I saw this first video of a little girl, 3 years old, healthy and happy in videos, and like a Skeletor concentration camp victim with pus coming out of her eyes and black teeth and totally skinny after CPS grabbed her for no reason. This is in Houston. This is on Fox News, and put her on antipsychotic drugs that literally eat your brain. I got so upset that I didn't even do I just forgot about the debate and went, you know, I already knew about all this. I already know they drug over 2/3 of foster children, kill thousands a year just in Texas alone. There's been WOAI TV investigations, but nothing's ever done. The Texas Youth Commission, they had public rapings where people went and paid at the CPS facilities to rape small children. That all came out 5 years ago. Nobody got in trouble for that. And all this stuff's just flashing back all over the country. 3,400 kids missing, CNN reported in Florida. Many of them found dead in CPS custody. I mean, all flying them out of the country to Saudi Arabia. Again, there's so much evil, I can't keep track of it all. And so I see this, and it's like a flashback. It's like post-traumatic. I'm being hit with all this stuff, and I go, okay, I'm going to cover this today, but I just can't show this Fox News video out of Houston. I've got to go show them some of the background. So I start sending stories to the guys about them taking little kids and testing pesticides and radiation on them a few years ago. This isn't going on in the 50s till they die. And U.S. troops being put in chambers to be nerve gassed and murdered. And I'm thinking, my God, this government is so criminal. How did I ever deny to myself just how out of control this is? I'm not hardcore enough. I'm not doing enough. And it just kept hitting me and hitting me and hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. That we live in a crazy Twilight Zone episode. But I mean, Hitler killing tens of millions, Stalin, Mao, Pol Pot, Fidel Castro, it goes on and on. This is the norm with these scum we let get in control and do what they say, because in our evolutionary development, or whatever you want to call it, we do what the leader says. We believe the chief wants the tribe to survive. That was the case 10,000 years ago. It's not the case today. And we've got to grow up and realize this. I mean, you look at the stuff that Hitler and Mao and them did. I mean, it's like, why would Mao kill 60+ million people in just a few years? Because he could. He did all these evil things to get into power so he could do that. A psychopath that kills a few hundred when they're just a general is going to kill 1 million when he gets in charge. Don't you understand that? They do it because they like it. They do it because they enjoy it. They're like, Jeffrey Dahmer, why'd you kidnap little kids and torture them and inject them in the brain to make them sex zombies? He's because I like it. Ted Bundy, why'd you do that? John Wayne Gacy, why'd you do that? Because I like it. Why'd you grab teenagers and torture them and kill them? Because I like to. They're just psychos that get in control, and they hire other psychos and create these giant colony creature guilds against us. Good people have to get together. See, good people are not joiners. We're not looking for power. We just want to be happy and good. We're not malfunctioning. We're not cancer cells. But what happens on the low level, the small microscopic level, happens on the giant level. And so as a globe with the skin of life growing on the surface of it in this thin atmosphere, the planisphere does have a cancer. The globalists are always saying humanity's a cancer, it needs to be killed. They're actually the cancer. The tiny group of elite are malfunctioning and keeping the human destiny from fully reaching its potential. They are the cancer. They act just like it. A normal person who doesn't have degenerate programming is like, you want to wear black uniforms and beat people and spy on folks and have big martial parades and give each other awards all day? I don't want that. That's because you're normal. But for them, it's beautiful. Do you understand that? And so I saw this report we're going to get to at the end of this where they grab people because the parents smoke marijuana or whatever. And you know when you go in to get a medical procedure now, they do a blood test. They don't tell you have a right to remain silent without a warrant for getting your blood. It's all through the health departments that were eugenics departments set up in 1910, 1915, depending on the city, depending on the state, where they're all spying on you. It's when you have a baby, you got plenty of money, you doing all right? Oh, we're making ends meet, coming for your kids. Because you're poor now. See, they want your kid. They're hunting you. They're after you. This is the system. Now, conservative estimates of the 1 million+ children grabbed a year, over 50,000 nationwide end up dying in government custody. We've got the numbers up in articles at INFOWARS.com. Now, just bad drug interactions are over 100,000 a year, the government admits. 69% or over 2/3 are put on psychotropics, an average of 7, including antipsychotics that cause permanent brain damage. And you see these children, I mean, they kill them. Once they start having the convulsions after 7 drugs,